Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. I kind of switched up my background a little bit, nothing too crazy. I pretty much just turned the camera because the room that I actually film in is so small, so there really are only like a couple ways that I can switch it up, but I thought it was time for a little change, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But today's video is going to be a fun one. I'm excited to film it. I filmed a video like this last week and a lot of you guys seem to like it. I had so much fun reading the comments and chatting with you guys about the different eyeshadow palettes that are on the market, so I'm kind of filming a part 2. But today's video is going to be all about the new face palettes on the market. So I have blush palettes, highlighting palettes, all-in-one palettes, so I'm going to chat about them. I'll put timestamps in the description box below if you guys want to jump ahead, but I'll start with the palettes that I'm going to purchase, and then I'll talk about the palettes that I'm on the fence about, and if you guys have tried them, let me know either way what you think, and then I'm going to talk about the palettes that I'm going to skip and not buy. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you let me know in the comments below your thoughts on all of these palettes or any palettes that I've missed, because I love reading the comments. I honestly do. And if you guys want to see a part 3 on like value sets and gift sets, you'll have to let me know in the comments below and I can definitely film it. Otherwise, let's jump into it. Okay, so let me start with the palettes that I am going to buy. The first one is from Wet n Wild, and it is their new MegaGlo highlighting palette. So there's not a ton of information out about this palette, whether it's going to be a holiday exclusive or a new product to their line, because they just started releasing sneak peeks, I think yesterday or the day before. So I don't know the price or when it's going to be available. Once I find out, I'll let you guys know and I'll put it in the description box below. But this palette is going to have 4 of their MegaGlo highlighting powders in it. And the reason why I'm interested in buying this palette is because I do really enjoy the MegaGlo highlighting formula. I know some people don't like it, some people are on the fence. I personally really enjoy it. I think it's very smooth and buttery and beautiful. They do have 6 shades available, and I do have all of them. They're very beautiful. They have some golds, some pinks. They do have a fun purple, but in general, they're a little bit more neutral and a little bit more, I guess, what you would call wearable. So this palette comes with 4 different, more colorful shades. It looks like they have like an icy lavender, a really pretty light blue, a green, and then also a glittery pink. So I'm really curious to try it out. I personally don't spend a lot of money on more colorful highlighters because I won't wear them on an everyday basis. So I'm excited that Wet n Wild is creating a more affordable option, because I will spend the money on this one and I think it will be fun to have some colorful highlighters in my collection. The next palette that I am going to buy is also a highlighting palette. It's from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is their Sugar Glow Kit. So this one retails for $40 and you get 4 different highlighters. I'm honestly so excited about this one because I've never tried any of the Anastasia Glow Kits. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I had never really been into highlighting before, to be honest with you guys, until recently, until about a year ago. So I feel like now I'm really getting into highlighters. I love trying new ones and I have so many favorite affordable options, but I've heard non-stop good things about the Anastasia Glow Kit. So I personally can't wait to grab this one. Liv from Liv Loves Her Makeup is actually the one that convinced me to grab this. She filmed a review video on this as well as a couple of other products. I'll link it in the description box below. But her highlight, just her whole face makeup in general, is always so beautiful and glowy, and I was honestly convinced, like, no matter what she wears on her face, I'll probably buy it if I can get my skin to look like hers. So I definitely want to grab this. I think the colors are beautiful. I've been wanting to try a glow kit and I feel like I'll get use out of all of these. Okay, moving on to the products that I'm on the fence about. So I have 3 palettes that I'm kind of thinking about grabbing, but I'm only going to allow myself to buy one of them. So I have to choose between the 3. So if you guys had to choose between these 3 palettes, which one would you pick? Or if you've tried any of them, you'll have to let me know if you recommend it or you would skip it, because I really value your opinion. I feel like that really helped me make up my mind in the last video. So they're all very different, but the first one is from Tarte Cosmetics. It's their limited edition Blush Bazaar Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. In a previous anti-haul video, I mentioned their big blush book and the fact that I was not going to buy that one. I just felt like it was really big and bulky, and sometimes the formula of the blushes can be a little bit lesser quality than, you know, their single pans. But I've heard really great things about the actual formula of this specific blush palette. So this one's a little bit different than the big blush book. The blushes are not full size, but you do get 10 different options. So I feel like it's a little bit more practical for me. You get more options to choose from, and honestly, I'll never hit pan on one. I have the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Exposed. I wear it like every other day and I'm not even close to hitting pan on it. So this one comes with some really beautiful colors. I read that the colors are a little bit more subtle in person, which is why I'm kind of drawn to it. When I look at the picture, they look really bold, and I don't wear a whole lot of bold colors, but I feel like if they're a little bit more subtle in person, I might really enjoy it. I just think having, you know, this range of color would be really nice to have in my collection, especially because, like I said, they're not full size, so I don't feel like I'll waste, you know, as much product, and I think the entire package package in general is a little bit more small and compact, so it can fit easily into my vanity. On top of all of that, I really just like the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush formula, and the fact that most of the reviews say this is like their regular formula kind of, you know, is convincing me to try it. So it's a $44 palette for a $150 value. I think the reason that I'm hesitating is because I think I'll use the colors, but practically, will I actually use all of them? So if you guys have this palette and you enjoy the colors and, you have any thoughts on the formula, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. I think that this is the one that I'm leaning toward just because it is a blush palette and the other ones have different products in it. So this is kind of like at the top of my list, but I might choose one of the other two. So the next one is from Becca Cosmetics. It is their Glow Face Palette. It's $54, but it is a $96 value. This one is limited edition as well. So the Tarte Cosmetics palette was limited edition, and this one is too. So this one comes with 6 different products in it. I think 4 of them are highlighters, 1 is a blush, and 1's a bronzer. I just really like the Becca Cosmetics face product formula. I think their highlighters, their blushes, their bronzers are all formulated so beautifully. I really haven't tried a Becca Cosmetics face product that I've been disappointed in. I think they all perform so beautifully. They're smooth and pigmented and buttery, and they glide on the skin. So that is the reason why I'm leaning toward this one. I missed out on, I think, a couple of Becca Cosmetics face palettes, and I always regret it. The last one that I bought was the Jaclyn Hill collaboration, which I love. I think it's so beautiful. I don't know if I would use every single shade in this palette. I think sometimes they come out with palettes that the colors are a little bit too dark for my skin tone, and even though I want to love it, I don't know if I would really reach for it. So I think that's the reason why I'm hesitating on this one. I haven't watched any reviews on it yet, so I don't know what people are saying about it, whether or not the formula is good or not, so that might sway my opinion as well. But I just really like the Becca Cosmetics formula in general, and I just haven't been disappointed yet. So I don't want to miss out on another great palette. I'm going to buy the Anastasia Glow Kit and the Wet n Wild highlighter palette, so I don't know if I need another highlighting palette, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I think honestly, I'm probably leaning a little bit more toward the Tarte palette. The third one that I'm on the fence about is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3. So again, this one is limited edition. This one is the most expensive. It's $80. It doesn't say what the value is for this palette, but I'm sure it's a lot higher than $80. I just recently tried my very first Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes. I have 2 of them. I have like a peach toned one and then a pink toned one, and I really like the formula. I think the formula is very beautiful. It's almost, I want to say magical, but I don't want to be dramatic, but I feel like it makes your skin look like it's glowing. It's such a beautiful formula, but I feel like the colors that I chose are very, very subtle and almost to the point where you can't really see them on the skin. A few of you guys left me some recommendations to try some darker shades, and I do want to try them, but the price tag is very expensive. I rarely spend this much money on one product unless it's like a higher end foundation or an eyeshadow palette. So I think the new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3 might be a good way to try additional Hourglass products for a less expensive price. $80 is a pretty high price tag for a palette. I don't think I've ever spent that much, but you do get 6 different products in one palette. Let me open it up on Sephora's website because I'm kind of curious what products you get. I don't think they're full size, which isn't really something that bothers me because, to be honest with you guys, I don't usually take that into consideration when I'm buying a holiday palette because I'll never use up an entire pan. But, okay, let's see. So you get 3 best-selling and 3 new exclusive powders. So I don't have any of these products. You get 2 of the ambient lighting powders, 2 of the ambient lighting blushes, 1 ambient lighting bronzer, and 1 ambient strobe lighting powder. So you get all kinds of different products in this palette. The swatches look really beautiful, and I definitely think I could use all of these products on my skin tone, so I am tempted to try it because I do want to try more of the Hourglass powders. I've heard endlessly good things about them. They're just very, very expensive, so I'm kind of curious to try out this palette. Like I said, I only want to buy one of them out of the 3. I don't want to buy all 3 because I don't need all 3, so I'm going to have to narrow it down. I think it's mainly between the Tarte palette and the Hourglass palette. The Tarte palette is half the cost of the Hourglass palette, so I might go that route, but I also might spend a little bit more because I have been wanting to try more Hourglass powders. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? Help me out in the comments below because I would love to to hear what you guys think. Okay, so let me finish up with the products that I am not going to buy. I have 5 different palettes that I'm not going to buy for whatever reason, so I'll kind of go through them and chat about them with you guys. So the first one is from Hourglass. I just talked about an Hourglass palette, but I have a second one. This one is the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. So this one is a limited edition. It retails for $62 and it comes with 3 different products. So I'm not going to buy this one because I do feel like $60 for 3 products is a little bit too expensive for me. And this one, you know, consists of highlighters essentially. And if I was going to spend $62, I'd just spend 18 more and get the palette that comes with 6 different products. So those are just my thoughts on the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette, but that might be a great option for you. I don't know, what's your favorite Hourglass powder? Because I know they have a ton of different ones. I'm not really familiar with all of their powders, but if you guys had like a favorite one, what is it? The next product that I'm not going to buy is from CoverFX. It's their Perfect Highlighting Palette, and I believe this one is an Ulta exclusive. It retails for $39 and you get 6 different highlighters. I feel like the price tag is fair. I haven't seen it in person, so I don't know how big the pans are, but honestly, CoverFX products tend to be pretty expensive in my experience, so I was honestly surprised when I saw the $39 price tag. The colors look really beautiful, but I feel like a lot of them wouldn't work well on my skin tone, so I'm going to skip this one because I do want to buy the Sugar Glow Kit, which I feel like will work better for my skin tone, but I think maybe if you have a darker skin tone, this would be a better option for you. $39 I honestly feel like isn't a bad price for how much product I assume you get. That palette just isn't really for me. I don't think I would get a lot of use out of it. The next palette that I'm not going to buy is from Anastasia. It is their blush kit. So they actually have 2 different options. They have a lighter blush kit and then a darker blush kit, which I think is great. They're catering to all skin tones. I'm specifically looking at the lighter one because I feel like the darker one is way too dark for me. I'm not going to buy this one. I think $30 is probably a pretty good value. The colors are beautiful. I've never tried an Anastasia blush. I feel like I haven't tried a lot of Anastasia products, to be honest with you guys. I've tried a lot of their brow products and I've tried some of their eyeshadow palettes, but otherwise I haven't tried a ton of their products, so I don't know how their blushes perform. And to be honest with you, between this one and the Tarte palette, I would probably spend the money and go for the Tarte palette over this one, so it just kind of automatically got put on my passing list. But if you guys are going to try this or you have tried it, you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. It looks beautiful. I just have never tried their blushes, so I don't know how the formula is. The next product that I'm not going to buy is from Tarte Cosmetics. I feel like Tarte has been releasing a ton of blush palettes for the holidays. This one is their Blush Bliss blush palette. So this one retails for $39. It's an Ulta exclusive and it comes with 4 shades. I was reading the reviews on this because a lot of times I'll go online and read reviews just to see what people are saying, and it sounds like these are ultra pigmented. So if you are a fan of super pigmented blushes, this might be a great option for you. The colors are really beautiful. I feel like they might be a little bit too dark for my skin tone, especially if they are super pigmented, because I tend to prefer a more natural look. Again, if I was going to spend $39 on a palette, I personally would spend $5 extra and get the other Tarte palette. I feel like they're kind of competing with themselves with all of the blush palettes that they're releasing. First, like the big book of blushes, then the 10 pan blush palette, and then this one. So I think out of all of them, this is probably the one that I would buy last, only because you don't get as many options in it. And if I'm going to spend the money on a palette, I like to have more options rather than bigger pan sizes. So for me, this one is a skip. So the last palette that I'm not going to buy is from one of my favorite brands, Smashbox. I honestly rarely try a Smashbox product that I don't like, except for when it comes to their palettes. For some reason, their palettes, their eyeshadow palettes, I guess specifically, are not my favorite. I just lost my train of thought. I think I was saying I don't like their eyeshadow palettes, but this one's not an eyeshadow palette anyways. This one is their Photo Strip Highlighting Palette. It retails for $22, so it's definitely on the more affordable end when it comes to face palettes. It comes with 5 different powder highlighters, and the colors are beautiful. If you're looking for a little bit more of a unique highlighting palette that's a little bit more affordable, this might be a good option for you. It comes with a really light shade, a yellow toned shade, more of a champagne shade, and then 2 kind of like orangey coral shades, which I think is a fun change. But I don't think I would wear the orange highlighters, to be honest with you guys, and I feel like Smashbox highlighters aren't my favorite either. I like the Casey Holmes highlighting palettes, but they're not my favorite. There are a lot of other highlighters that I reach for over them, and if I had to buy them again, I don't think I would, so I'm just going to skip over this one as well. I don't know if the formula is the same or different, but Smashbox does a lot of things well, like their face products, their new brushes, but I don't tend to love their highlighters, or their palettes in general, so I'm not going to buy this this one. Okay guys, that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you let me know in the comments below which palettes you're going to buy, which ones you're going to skip, because that is my favorite part. I always say it, but I honestly spend so much time chatting with you guys in the comments of my videos because I feel like YouTube would not be what it is, at least like my channel, if I didn't get to chat with you guys in the comments. That's my favorite part. So make sure you leave me a comment below before you guys go. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.